Village Railroad. For the safety of our younger riders, we ask that the adults with them place themselves on the outside of the road. If that's not possible, please make sure that they are held or easily within your reach. Also, we ask that you do not stand up and move around whatsoever while the train is in motion, keeping your head, hands, and feet inside the cars at all times. Eating and drinking is not permitted, but water from an enclosed water bottle is just fine. We are now leaving the station and heading over to Splits Creek Station. Sit back and have a nice time on the train. Thank you. We thank Ken and Mike, and we'll say goodbye to Ken as we leave the station. We appreciate you getting everybody on board safely. We're at Susquehanna Plantation, built in 1865, and it was 700 acres big from Tidewater, Maryland. Slaves were the ones that worked the plantation. Tobacco was its cash crop. Next to that is the Plimpton family home, built in the early 1700s. It's the oldest American home we have here at Greenfield Village. Mr. and Mrs. Plimpton raised 7 children. It's a single-room home. Imagine that. The windmill, Ferris windmill, was built in 1650 from Cape Cod, Massachusetts. A gift to Henry Ford, the oldest standing windmill in the United States. The Daggett family park house built in 1754 from Andover, Connecticut. When you visit here, the staff will tell you what life was like pre-Revolutionary War time. They're gardening and raised gardens. Horses that we use here to pull our wagons on a given day. They're not being used today, they're just getting a little relaxation. We also have some wild turkeys that came out to visit with them. Henry Ford had a love of the railway, and the staff over at the museum realized this in 1970. They decided that we would build a perimeter railway around the Greenfield Village. It is about 3 miles around, and the standard gauge rail is used. We have 3 steam locomotives that are used here to pull our passenger trains. The locomotive pulling our train right now is called the Edison, built in the 1870s by the Manchester Locomotive Company. It had gone in disrepair when Henry Ford found it. He took it to the Ford Motor Company and had it completely restored and rebuilt. That was in 1932. Upon its completion, he named it Edison after his dear friend Thomas Edison. We also have the Baldwin number 7, built in 1897. That's the locomotive that Henry Ford would have used when he traveled around the country for business and pleasure. We also have the Torch Lake that was built in 1873. It happens to be the oldest running steam locomotive in the country. We are now entering into our wildlife preserve. Sit back and enjoy some of the sounds that a steam locomotive makes.
All right, now turn, let's roll.
Was called the Lights Golden Jubilee because he wanted to celebrate the 50th anniversary of Thomas Edison's invention of the incandescent light bulb. Well, he had him go over to the Menlo Park here at the village, and over at the museum, all the lights were not lit. People were sitting around tables by candlelight. After Thomas Edison reenacted that, he threw the switch. All the lights at Menlo Park lit, and so did they at the museum. That was, can you imagine, in 8 more years, we'll be celebrating the 100th year anniversary of that wonderful day. We have a baseball game underway. The Lottie Dolls are playing against the Walker Tavern Wheels. They are playing baseball according to the rules from 1867. Notice that not one player has a mitt. That's because they weren't invented then. They're playing according to the rule books. Let's see if we can find out who's winning. We're not earshot, sorry. If you get a chance for a moment, come down here when you get off the train over at Susquehanna and be a fan for our Lottie Dolls. In front of us is the Henry Ford Academy High School, a charter school that specializes in the STEAM program, science, technology, engineering, art, and math, built in 1993. Henry Ford always believed that to learn is by doing, and that's what the students get to do when the 10th and 12th graders are here, 9th graders over at the museum. What they study in the classroom, when they take it over to the museum or village, they can see firsthand what they studied. That's not an opportunity most students have. In these vintage railroad cars, that's reserved for our seniors, and they're going to be graduating very soon. To be a student here at the Henry Ford Academy High School, one must live in Wayne County, Michigan. After you submit an application, it's the luck of the draw in which you are able to attend high school here for 4 years, tuition free. The Henry Ford Museum of American Innovation is a non-profit organization. It does not get any support from the Ford Motor Company or from the Ford Foundation. Instead, it relies on ticket sales from people like you that come to visit the museum or the village at any given time. We thank you for your support, and we really hope that you are having an awesome day today. Michigan, Ann Arbor, Michigan, and then off to Chicago, Illinois. Over to the left is a continuation of our Main Street district. Up the hill is the chapel that Henry Ford built in honor of his mother-in-law, Martha Bryant, and his mother, Mary Ford. Next to that is the Scotch Settlement School, where Henry Ford attended school in his early days, built in 1861. And then we have the Logan County Courthouse that was built in 1840 from Fortsville, Illinois. Young Abraham Lincoln practiced law. Go see where the very good courts he stood. As you can see, there are automobiles there from the 50s and the 60s. That's our village green. Wonderful activities will be taking place here, and they probably have already started, going on until 9 o'clock. Taste of History restaurant is open, serving you some hot meals. Food is locally sourced. The recipes come from our historic farmhouses here. Next to that is the Eagle Tavern restaurant. If you want a historic dining experience, that is the place to go. You step into the doors and you step back into 1850s. The wait staff and the servers are dressed in period clothing. They'll give you a menu with selections from that time period. We are now coming into the Smith Creek station. Please remain seated. The engineer will set a brake and give us the sound of a single whistle, letting us know that it is safe to come off the train. You're going to exit to the left side at the station. If you are getting off at the station, in addition to taking a look at all the vintage cars, take a walk down to the Herschel Spillman Carousel, take a ride. It's a disco tonight on the carousel. 1970s, and they're playing music by ABBA. Remain seated. Wait for the whistle. We'll say hi to Ginger, our station master. And there's Tom, our conductor, on our train too this evening.
Don't forget your umbrella and all